Hello and welcome everybody to another Supatease 3v3 PvP guide. And in this one I'm going to be breaking down the balanced Druid, my thought processes against a team with a Hunter, Rep Paladin, and Disciplined Priest, where I am the main target for the enemy team. So this should help you learn how to avoid a fight and when to look to avoid a fight, and then also when to sneak in your opportunities to counterattack, get pressure, and execute a kill. This composition does heavy burst damage and has long crowd control chains. When your healer is crowd control, you want to be in bear form and or kiting away. You want to look to not overlap defensive cooldowns, and I'll go more so into that when the match has started. I would typically not recommend playing Mass Entanglement against a team with a Rep Paladin and a Survival Hunter, as both of these classes can remove Mass Entangle quite effectively and deny your Solar Beam combination. It is much better to use Solar Beam as an interrupt on a cast for Penance or Shadow Mend. Other than that, it is usually better to be playing Bash to have access to an extra stun to elongate your chances of survival. Your main goal against a Disciplined Priest is to run them out of mana or to burst down one of their teammates during crowd control. So I expect them to go on my mage, as this composition typically targets mages. So I run to the center of arena and look to get my damage over time effects on as many targets as possible. I look to start the fight, I bash first, pop Incarnation, and my main goal with this is to put the other team on the back foot first, so they're a bit wary of chasing in and pushing forward for a kill. During this time, I'm just maintaining dots and looking to use my instant Lunar Strikes as much as possible. Now, as soon as the Retribution Paladin uses Avenging Wrath, it's time to go defense. I pop my Renewal, boosting my health, immediately go into Bear Farm and trade Frenzied Regeneration, as well as my Bark Skim. If you do not respond to this Avenging Wrath cooldown, you will die almost instantaneously to the Wake of Ashes, Execution Sentence, Global Cooldown combination. Once this is traded out, I look to get my damage over time effects and start to kite away. As my Bark Skin is faded, my defense is much lower, and I try to look to avoid the fight. As soon as they both connect, I immediately go back into bear form. At this point, there is not much point in really attacking. Our crowd control is fading on the priest, and it is unlikely that I will get a cyclone, so I just see the Rep Paladin move towards stunning my priest, and I see the hunter now moving towards it to freezing trap out of the stun. You want to be 40 yards away from your healer, and as soon as you see one of the DPS members running away from you to crowd control your healer, you start moving in the opposite direction. They can't close the gap, and my priest has sat the better part of 20 plus seconds of crowd control, and I'm still at 80% health. I use dash to avoid the hunter as he moves in and just line of sight him, waiting for the crowd control. I'm looking at my party frame where the priest is, and I still see mind control. As soon as all that crowd control is over, now it's my turn to come out and start attacking. We got crowd control secured onto the priest, and I would like to unload my astral power during this time with both star surges. After unloading your astral power, there really isn't much point to be in balanced Druid, especially when your crowd control is fading. It's better to immediately retreat back into bear form, and make sure that you're using Iron Fur when you can, and Mangle basically every ability you can on cooldown, that being Moonfire, Thrash, and Mangle, Iron Fur, and then Frenzy Regen when your healer is crowd controlled. So my healer is in Hammer of Justice, I Frenzied Regen, he then gets Psychic Screamed, so I maintain my Iron Fur, making myself as tanky as possible. My positioning could be better here. I am too close to my priest. They can stun and trap without having to move very far. But now that the crowd control is over, time to pop back into Boomkin form, toss out 2 Star Surges, and get a Divine Shield for that exchange. After we've got the immunity, there's no reason to be in balanced Druid form anymore. Immediately retreat back into bear form and desperately try and tank them out for as long as you can. Now, we've got crowd control on their healer, but I am so low that if I come out of bear form, I'm likely to die. So I don't leave it until I see everyone in crowd control. The Paladin was stunned, the Hunter was Frost Nova'd. I had an opportunity to cast there where I couldn't be stopped, and because I was able to see that and I took the opportunity, we get a lot of pressure onto the Rep Paladin. Once again, I look at my raid frames. My priest is in a freezing trap. What do I need to do? Line of sight the Hunter and Paladin until he is out of crowd control. I even look to Cyclone the pet, and I use all of this time to simply regrowth myself and stay out of line of sight, waiting for my mage to be the player to set up the team. Now he's got a polymorph. I'm considering attacking during this crowd control chain, really just looking to see if they're going to go for Hammer of Justice or not. I want to be absolutely certain that I won't go down. I then look to continue the chain with a Cyclone, pop out, pop on use, drop some Star Surges, and burst down the Rep Paladin. So weaving in and out from bear form to Boomkin form against melee cleaves is very important. You want your partner to set you up and to create safe scenarios, and you only want to be attacking when the enemy team is crowd controlled so you do not get bursted down. Now I hope that this guide was of some use to you today, and I appreciate you guys tuning in to watch all my guides and leave comments. It really puts a smile on my face to know that you guys are interested in it, and I'm going to be doing my best to pump out content every single day. So consider subscribing, consider hitting the notification bell, and certainly leave your feedback down in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for tuning in.